Hello and welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we are trying Youfoodz for a week, well, 5 days. This is following on from the videos we've done in the past, testing Marley Spoon and Dinnerly. Now, we are based down in Tasmania, if you're new to the channel. So there is other meal kit services in Australia, but they don't deliver to Tasmania, and they are quite like Every Plate and HelloFresh. But like I said, they don't deliver here, so I can't test them. So we're moving on to ready-made meals and seeing if they're actually worth it. So I picked 5 meals for me and 5 meals for Ben. There was a couple of common threads through the meals. So there was a lot of peas and carrots. There was also a lot of chicken, a lot of pasta, a lot of brown rice. Youfoodz does sort of market itself as a fitness, like high protein ready meal product. There was a couple of fish options there, but I didn't see any vegan options, or I've just skimmed across them when I've been searching. Now, when I signed up, I got an automatic coupon code put on, so I got an automatic discount, but when I actually signed up and put all my details in, I got hit with a service fee, so please be aware of that. Also, my delivery options were either a Wednesday or a Friday, so again, if you're one of those people that plans from Monday to Friday and then have your Saturday, Sunday as your days to cook or to have takeout and things like that, because I wouldn't put these meals in the freezer, and also some of these meals did go off pretty quickly after I ordered them. So they had a really short shelf life, so maybe a week to 10 days. Anyway, now that the order is in, let's wait and see what arrives. The meals arrived about mid-Wednesday afternoon, which was pretty cool. Love it when something actually shows up when it's supposed to and not at like 5 p.m. like it did with, I believe, Marley Spoon. Now, this was in the middle of summer for Tasmania, so this did come absolutely packed with ice packs, which was amazing. Whilst unpacking, everything looked good, everything looked fine, there was no leaks, there was no breaches, I didn't see any mold or any issues that I've seen unpacking any other previous meal boxes. So far, so good. For night 1, Ben had the chicken katsu curry. The rice did have vegetables through it, predominantly carrot. And from what I could see before I opened the packaging, because the package does tell you to not open it fully before it's cooked. Now, all the meals do come with instructions on the cardboard packaging. Most of the instructions, though, are pretty generic. Pull open the top corner of the plastic film and let it cook for however many minutes or until it's hot. Now, that seemed to be on everything, and I guess it's to make up for the variation in microwaves. The recommendation on the packaging was 2.5 minutes. This ended up probably going in for about 3.5. The katsu was more like chicken nuggets rather than a katsu. And the breading on the chicken also had sucked up all the sauce. So instead of being nice and crispy, it had become quite gummy. The rice was okay, but the vegetables within the rice had that slight microwave taste that you get. And they were slightly soft outside, but crunchy inside still. But Ben said overall the taste was nice. For my first night, I had Mohit's butter chicken. Now, this was with brown rice and 2 pieces of naan. The butter chicken itself was really nice and flavourful. The chicken was well cooked. It wasn't over or under. The naan was a stock standard supermarket naan. The rice, however, was inconsistent, and that was what I was kind of expecting from a brown rice in a microwave meal. In some areas, particularly near the sauce, it was perfectly cooked. Under the naan bread and towards the edges where there wasn't any sauce, it was a little bit crispy and crunchy, which isn't a great feeling with brown rice. That said, this is probably one of the better microwavable butter chickens I've ever had, so it's still a tick of approval from me. Night 2, Ben had the shredded beef ravioli. He said that the beef and the sauce was very nice and the pasta was nicely cooked and filled, a really good dish that doesn't have that microwave pasta taste until you find a couple of ravioli that somehow didn't get covered in sauce or sat wrong in the microwave dish, and it dried out so much to the point that they were crispy. A way around this might be just shaking up the container before you put it in the microwave to make sure everything gets covered in the sauce. Oh no, for next time. Night 2, I had beef lasagna. I have had my fair share of microwave lasagna in my time, so I was interested to see how this would stack up. After getting out of the microwave, it was pretty good. It heated really well, so there was no cold spots within it. The bolognese was very, very rich, but the bechamel was non-existent, and you need the bechamel to counter the bolognese. Still, this is not the worst microwave lasagna I've ever had, so it was still a pass in my books. Night 3, Ben had beef Masson curry. Ben said the flavour was really nice, but the serving had everything separate, so the parts of the rice, potatoes and beef were really dry. Yet some of the potatoes were also weirdly spongy. An ongoing theme we have found with these Youfoodz meals is that the sauce does not cover everything. And with microwave meals, if you don't have enough moisture, everything dries out. For night 3, I had creamy chicken carbonara with sliced ham and mushrooms. Now I must admit, I'm not the biggest fan of mushrooms, but I was willing to overlook that for this carbonara. The pasta was al dente and a pretty good quality pasta at that, but the chicken was unfortunately overcooked and very grainy. Mushrooms tasted nice and were not too slimy, which is the biggest off-putter for me. So this was passable. It wasn't the strongest meal I'd had so far from Youfoodz, but it was still enjoyable. For night 4, Ben had chicken penne with sun-dried tomato sauce. Now this looked quite appetizing before it was heated up, and Ben said that the tomato sauce was very tasty and the pasta that was coated with the sauce was quite good. But there wasn't enough sauce, as we've seen with a lot of the products this week, and the chicken wasn't coated with it at all, making it very dry, and at least half the pasta was also very dry. It was still mostly edible, but the dryness really did detract from the enjoyment from the meal. For night 4, I had mushroom and cheese tortellini with creamy sauce. Yes, I've been eating a lot of pasta this week, and boy was I paying for it. I don't tend to eat a lot of pasta, but a lot of the options I couldn't eat because they had things that I can't eat due to allergies. The pasta was quite good, but the sauce did taste like cream of mushroom soup. And unlike the carbonara, the mushrooms in this did get a little bit slimy and soggy. It was still a passable meal, but it was not my favourite of the week. For night 5, Ben had chicken cacciatore. Now, we thought this would actually be a good meal to let finish on, but the water had separated from the potatoes, and well, I'll let you hear my initial reaction. So it had turned into slightly dehydrated potatoes, very starchy water, and overcooked chicken. Ben tried eating it, it was deemed inedible, and he ended up getting something else to eat for the night. For my last Youfoodz meal, I had Smoky BBQ Chicken with potato salad. Reading the instructions on the back of the packet, it was okay for the potato salad to go into the microwave, so I heated it all together. Parts of the potato salad were either overcooked or undercooked, particularly the sweet potato. Also, hot mayonnaise is not really a winner for me. The chicken was very grainy and the sauce didn't taste very good. It was very, very sweet. It was almost like a fountain, so that's a brand here in Australia, barbecue sauce. So this was not the best meal to end out. It was a very mixed bag of what we had during our Youfoodz 5 days. Some of the meals were really good and I can highly recommend, especially the butter chicken. Definitely get that when it's available. But there are other meals like the cacciatore where in which the heatability hasn't really been considered or it hasn't been tested as much as other meals. Like potatoes shouldn't separate like that. And I understand that they might be using something like a rehydrated potato, but still it's not great. Another thing I wish they'd be a little bit mindful for also with their meals is highlighting all potential allergens. Like there is some allergens listed on the website and on the meals, but not everything's listed there. So I had to go through and look at the menu and look at the pictures very carefully to get something that I would be able to eat. And I'm okay to do that. My allergies aren't like EpiPen level allergies. But for those where there is potential anaphylaxis, like it would be frustrating. However, there is some positives for Youfoodz. 10 meals for like $65 in this economy at the moment is actually a great deal. The range on the website is also really good. So if you're someone that doesn't like cooking or if you're someone that has a limited skill set around the kitchen, you'll be able to try things that you normally wouldn't be able to cook or you don't have the time to cook. Some of these meals are also way better quality than the microwave meals that you'd find at the supermarket. So for that, for me, is a big tick of approval too. Whilst I can't judge Youfoodz against the same criteria that I judged Marley Spoon and Dinnerly against, I can say that currently in 2024, if you're somebody that doesn't enjoy making meals from scratch or is very time poor, Youfoodz is probably a really good resource for you. If you're someone that does enjoy cooking your own meals, maybe this isn't for you, or it's maybe something for you to try when you are incredibly time poor. Nothing was initially bad or moldy like we've had with Generally or Marley Spoon. It's just that some of the meals just didn't hit the mark for us. If you've tried Youfoodz, let me know your experience in the comments down below. And if you've gotten this far into the video, thank you very much for watching. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel or leaving a like. Thanks for watching.